So today we're going to be talking about synthetic division. Okay, synthetic division is basically a shortcut for polynomial long division. And synthetic division can be used when you're dividing by a linear factor in the form of x plus or minus c. Okay, so basically if we have division like this, where the numerator is a polynomial and the bottom here is x plus or minus some number. This is a linear factor, so power 1. So if this were power 2, like x squared or x cubed, we couldn't do this, synthetic division. But when we have it in this form, we basically can shortcut it by using synthetic division. So the first thing you do is you take, just like before, this is what we use for synthetic division line. Now basically, it is like the long division, but just flipped upside down. Okay, so normal long division looks like that. It's been flipped upside down. Now, the first thing we do is we start by writing down the coefficients and the numbers from our numerator inside. So this is 1, so we put a 1 right here. And then this one is -6, then we put -6. And the last one is +17, so we put 17. So those go inside and leave space right here. Then we take this and we basically use the solution. So it would be like taking x plus 2, setting it equal to 0, and finding that x equals -2. So we're going to put -2 out here. Okay. Now, the process, the algorithm to doing synthetic division is that you start here, you add down. So 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay. Then you take this number here and multiply whatever is down here and put that here. So 1 times -2 is -2. And then we add down. So -6 plus -2 is -8. Then again, -2 times -8 is +16. So 17 plus 16, that is 33. Okay? This last number right here, that is our remainder. So we have a remainder of 33. So this represents our division, and this is our remainder. So since we were taking a squared term and dividing it by x, this term here is going to be our x term. And then this is going to have no x's in it. So our final answer is going to be x minus 8 plus my remainder of 33 over x plus 2. Okay. Now, if this started as x cubed, my first term would be like x squared, and the next term would be x, and it would go down in power. Okay, so basically you subtract 1 from the power, and you go down as you go along. Okay. All right, so let's try this one. Now, this right here, we're going to do the exact same thing, but notice we're missing terms. Okay, so think about it. We are actually missing the squared term and the x term. So when we go to fill out our synthetic division, just like we would do in regular long division, we'd have to leave a space for these 0 terms. Okay, so we'd put 3, and then 0, then 0, then -81, and again, x minus 3 equals 0, so x equals 3, so I put a 3 here. We add down, so 3 plus 0 is 0. Oh, sorry, 3. Then 3 times 3 is 9. 0 plus 9 is 9. Then 3 times 9 is 27. 0 plus 27 is 27. And then 3 times 27 is 81. And -81 plus 81 is 0. So we have a remainder of 0. And again, since we started with the cube, this one's going to be x squared, x, no x. So my answer to this is going to be 3x squared plus 9x plus 27 with no remainder. Okay, so remember, as we go down, we're adding, going here, we're going to multiply by whatever this is. Okay? Let's try the last one. Okay? Same thing, we're using the coefficients. So the first one's 1/3. Next one's -6 plus 7 and then 0 because we don't have that last term there. And we're going to be using -2. Okay? So now we add down. So 1/3. 1/3 times -2 is -2/3. Okay? Then we add straight down. So again, when we add -6 and -2/3, that's -20/3. Then we multiply by -2, which makes it +40/3. Then you add down. So this is going to be 61/3 because 7 times 3 is 21, 21 plus 40 is 61. Then you multiply by -2 and you get -122/3, and then you add down. So this is your remainder. The last one's always your remainder if you have one. Since we started with a cube term, this one's going to be x squared, this one's going to be x, and that's going to have no x. So our answer is going to be 1/3 x squared minus 20/3x plus 61/3 plus my remainder, which is -122/3 divided by x plus 2. So our answers are going to look exactly like we would do if we were doing long division, but we're using synthetic division to shortcut it. Now again, we can only use synthetic division when we have the bottom as a linear factor. So for instance, you can't use synthetic division for a problem like this, where this is going to be x only, because basically this is going to be 0, and every time you multiply it's going to be 0, and it won't work. Same thing here. If I have a squared x, like x squared minus 2x or x squared minus 4, I cannot use synthetic division. It only shortcuts if we have a linear factor in the denominator.